but it felt rehearsed. Like the father had the little girl in there. Look, I'm trying to keep this one. When you go out there, you tell her she pretty. Can't wait to go to the circus with you. My daddy love you. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook and or Twitter. Subscribe and visit uptopbeauty.com for these Priscilla frames. All Priscilla frames, all of them, will be on sale for $15 until the end of this month. In addition to that, don't forget, all orders over $40 will come with a free gift. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Prince Harry's spin. Unique, a girlfriend asking about my mother, but it was also the way she asked. Her tone was just the right blend of curiosity and compassion. The way she reacted to my answer was just right too. Surprised, concerned, with no judgment. Whatever the reason or combination of reasons, I answered her straight out and then started to cry. I remember thinking, oh, I'm crying? And saying to her, this is the first time I've ... Cressida leaned towards me. What do you mean first time? This is the first time I've been able to cry about my mom since the burial. Wiping my eyes, I thanked her. She was the first person to help me across that barrier, to help me unleash the tears. It was cathartic. It accelerated our bond and added an element rare in past relationships: immense gratitude. I was indebted to Crest, and that was the reason why when we got from Kazatotan, I felt so miserable, because at some point during that ski trip, I'd realized that we weren't a match. I just knew. Crest, I think, knew as well. There was massive affection, deep and abiding loyalty, but not love everlasting. She was always clear about not wanting to take on the stresses of being a royal, and I was never sure I wanted to ask her to do so. And this unalterable fact, though it had been lurking in the background for some time, became undeniable on those Kazaka slopes. Suddenly, it was clear. This can't work. So let's pause right quick, okay? If you ever notice, and we've all been there, just sometimes you're dating someone, an event happens, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know the tone has changed. And this is what I always say about a relationship. If you can get to that uncomfortable moment and get past it, then y'all are in it to win. But those moments that Prince Harry is talking about are usually the make or break in relationships. Either you're going to get past that uncomfortable situation, because it's always an uncomfortable situation. Like with Prince Harry, him showing his emotions to someone that he was unsure about whether or not he wanted to have a relationship with. Me, for instance, I had dated this guy, and we'd only been dating for maybe a week. And the dude introduced me to his son after a week. 9 times out of 10, if I'm meeting your child way too early than I feel like I should be meeting your child, then I'm going to put you in a box. And you're not going to go no further than that. But I was dating this other guy, and he introduced me to his daughter. And God bless her soul, okay? But this little girl literally felt rehearsed. Literally. She came out. She was so sweet. Hi, Miss Nay. Hi, you're so pretty. And I was like, hey, baby girl, how you doing? But it felt rehearsed. Like the father had the little girl in there. Look, I'm trying to keep this one. When you go out there, you tell her she pretty. Can't wait to go to the circus with you. My daddy love you. You tell her every goddamn thing she needs to hear, because we want to keep this one around. Put down below, what have been your make or break situations in relationships? You ain't got to give us the whole story, but just a couple of lines of, oh, that time I went to her house and her house was dirty. Those be the make or breaks. When you go over to somebody's house and their house is fucking filthy, after more than a year of talking and planning, thinking and worrying, 7,000 fans packed into the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park for the opening ceremony. The Invictus Games were born. The book is about him explaining all his good deeds to the universe, the many attempts at love, how he felt like a misfit as a royal, and giving the paparazzi the nigga. Shortly after the games, I informed the palace that I'd be leaving the army. Elf and I worked on the public announcement. It was hard to get the wording just right, to explain it to the public, maybe because I was having trouble explaining it to myself. In hindsight, I see that it was a hard decision to explain, because it wasn't a decision at all. It was just time. 2015, the papers were awash with stories about Willie being lazy, and the press had taken to calling him work-shy Wills, which was obscene, grossly unfair, because he was busy having children and raising a family. Kate was pregnant again. Also, he was still beholden to Pa, who controlled the purse strings. He did as much as Pa wanted him to do. And sometimes that wasn't much, because Pa and Camilla didn't want Willie and Kate getting loads of publicity. Pa and Camilla didn't like Willie and Kate drawing attention away from them or their causes. They'd openly scolded Willie about it many times. Case in point, Pa's press officer berated Willie's team when Kate was scheduled to visit a tennis club on the same day Pa was doing an engagement. Told that it was too late to cancel the visit, Pa press officer warned, just make sure the Duchess doesn't hold a tennis racket in any of the photos. Such a winning, fetching photo would undoubtedly wipe Pa and Camilla off the front page, and that in the end couldn't be tolerated. Willie told me that both he and Kate felt trapped and unfairly persecuted by the press and by Pa and Camilla. So I felt some need to carry the banner for all three of us in 2015. But selfishly, I also didn't want the press coming for me, to be called lazy. I shuddered. I never wanted to see that word attached to my name. The press had called me stupid for most of my life, and naughty and racist. But if they dared to call me lazy, I couldn't guarantee I wouldn't go down to Fleet Street and start pulling people out from behind their desks. I didn't understand until months later that there were even more reasons why the press were gunning for Willie. First, he got them all worked up by ceasing to play their game, denying them unfettered access to his family. He refused several times to trot Kate out like a prized racehorse, and that was considered a bridge too far. You know what that remind me of? Because, everybody think I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Yes, sirree, that's me. Anyway, everybody think I'm crazy when I say that Janet Jackson Justin Timberlake Super Bowl thing when he pulled that thing off her boob and exposed, I don't know what the hell that was, a shield or something around her titty ball. I really do believe that that was something to pull the attention away from her brother, Michael Jackson, going through all those scandals. I really believe that things like this happen, that situations are put in place. PR people talk with their PR people, and to pull the attention away, crazy things happen. People often speculated that I was clinging to my bachelor life because it was so glamorous. Many evenings, I think if only they could see me now. Prince Harry goes into how he tried to evade the paparazzi, okay? He said he was strategically planning out every trip, you know, baseball cap, sunglasses, move around as quietly as possible because he didn't want to send his gal or his boy out there to buy his fruits and nuts and vegetables. He wanted to go buy his own fruits, nuts, and vegetables, okay? So he would go out there incognito. Other than the occasional shopping, I stopped going out in 2015, stopped entirely. No more occasional dinners with mates. No more house parties, no clubs, no nothing. Every night, I'd go straight home from work, eat over the sink, then catch up on paperwork. Friends on low in the background. 2016, he went to America with two mates, okay? The mates is like, look, mate, you in America now. All that royal bullshit don't matter over here. We finna have us a good time. Let's go. Now, this is right before he goes into the Courtney Cox story where he was doing mushrooms or some kind of drugs with her. Courtney Cox, you should not do drugs. So he had a party with his two mates. Child, they asked him what he wanted to drink. He said, I don't know what the hell he said, but they was like, oh no, we don't drink that over here. It's 2016. We drink tequila over here. It was like, tequila? Oh, okay, let me try this tequila right here. Answer no, you won't be trying that tequila. We got a better tequila for you. Was it Patron? I don't know what tequila it was, child. He said, man, it was the best thing in the world. He drank it, got drinkity drunk, and the next day he didn't have a hangover. That's what that Patron would do to you, child. It also, y'all, if you ain't never heard the story of the time that I drank Patron, child, I had 4 shots. Whoo, Lord, it's the story. It's called, what did I call it? I had to rename it, but it's called 3 Police, a Probation Officer, and a Prostitute. Child goes into how he hooked up with Courtney Cox from the show Friends, because he loves that show Friends. You know, that's iconic to all the white folks, right? But he hooked up with Courtney Cox and them. I was sitting around, not caught. That's where he living, Nottingham Cottage, I think it is. Scrolling through Instagram. In my feed, I saw a video, my friend Violet and a young woman. They were playing with a new app that puts silly filters on your photos. I watched the video several times, then forced myself to put down the phone, then picked it up again, watched the video again. I'd never seen anyone so beautiful. Child.